Yud Aleph, Amud Bais. We're starting from Rabbi. We're discussing a source that we say, the source in the Torah that we have to sing during the sacrifice. During the communal sacrifice, we sing. So, we gave different sources yesterday. For example, Su Zimra Snu Saif, Maishi Yadaber Velikim Yanena Bakol. We had different sources. Avodah Savoida, the service of the service. Different sources for why that for saying Shira Alayayin. Rabbi Yonasan says Mihacha that you learn it from here. This is a very interesting limud because the pasuk is talking about that the Levium will serve, but they should not do the service of the Kayanim. And it says if they do, they should not come close to the altar. It says V'lo yamusu gam heim gam atem. It's 4 lines from the top now. And they shall not die, also them. Ma atem ba'avedas mizbeach, apim ba'avedas mizbeach. Just like they do service by the altar, the Kayanim, also the Levium do service by the altar. What service do the Levium do by the altar? It must be Shira, they sing. There's a proof that the Levium sing. Tanya Namihachi was also taught in a Braisa. And they shall not die, also them. The Levium shall not die coming close to the altar. It says, Atem b'shalahem, v'heim b'shalachem b'misa. If you, the Kayanim, do the service of the Levium, you do the singing, that causes a death penalty. Assumed from heaven. Heim b'shalahem, v'heim b'shalachem, if the Levium serve on the altar, that's also a death penalty. Because Levium are not allowed to do the service of the Kayanim, and they're considered a Zar. What happens, Heim b'shalahem, if Levium do the service of other Levium? Because the families of Levium are divided into 24, but they're divided into 2 types. Some of them are singers, and some of them are gate watchers. They open and close the gate. So, what is that? Oh. So, if a singer becomes a gate watcher, so then Einam b'misa l'bazhara. Then they only have a negative prohibition, but there's no death penalty. Rabbi Soloveitchik said that Soloveitchik is a nightingale, and it's because his tradition is that his family, the Levium, his family were the singers in the Bais Hamikdash. Did you hear that? See, you learned something. So Amar Abaya. Abaya says, Naktinan, we've accepted Mishoirer Shashir. See Abaya? It's in the center. A Mishoirer Shashir. A Levi that's supposed to sing, but instead he guards the gate. Shashir b'shel chavei, he guards the gate of his friend. That's b'misa. That's a death penalty. Shenemar v'achinu l'pnei mishkan kedma l'pnei oil mayed v'azar karev yumas. A stranger that comes close is put to death. So, mayizar. What does it mean? A stranger that comes close? Eily mazar mamash. If it means a zar, a real zar, it means a yisrael that comes into the wrong area. Haksiv chad that does the service. So it says, that already says, we have another pasuk that says that a Yisrael is not allowed to do this. Elalav zar dais aveda. We're talking about a zar of that service, which means a Levi that does the gatekeeping, and he's supposed to be the singer. So everyone has their service, and they're not supposed to switch it.
Daf Yomi like that. If you're the pearl shine, you know,
right.
Yum yum, whatever.
Right. Meisvei.
It's important. So you waste your life doing the wrong
Right.
thing. Zel b'zach.
Right. Right, and here it's brought out. Meisvei, there's the Gemara has a question. We said before that there's a death, this capital punishment for the. I assume it means from heaven. I'm not sure. Does it say it's a Esden? No. It means Misa B'Geshamayim, I think. Mishayer Shashir. The Gemara has a question. Excellent. Excellent. Mishayer Shashir, a singer that guards the gates. In other words, he's a Levi that he's doing the wrong service. Or Mishur Shashir, or the opposite. He's supposed to guard the gate, and instead he does the singing. Ina b'misa alabazara. It doesn't have the death penalty. It's just a negative prohibition. So it's a kasha. Before we said it is b'misa. There is a death penalty. Here we say it's just a negative prohibition. The Gemara says no, it's not a problem. Tanaihi. It's a machlekes. It's a machlekes tanai. That's how we answer contradictions. We say there's two opinions. The Tanya was taught in the Bais. Listen to this story. Ma'aseh Rabbi Yeshua bar Rabbi Chananya shalach lasayeya ba'agafes telases eitzel Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida. Okay, so Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya is this famous Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Yeshua, that's a student of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. He's a Levi. We know from the Gemara Sukkah he was a Levi. He describes the Simchas Beis HaSheva. And what happened was, he was a Levi that's supposed to be doing the singing. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida, it's not on here, but he was a Levi that guards the gates. So Rabbi Yeshua goes over to close the gates together with Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida says, Amar lo, he says to him, B'ni chazor la'acharecha, return. Sh'atim min ha'meshayrim, v'lei min ha'meshuarim. You're from...
Called him son. Must have been,
yeah, he must have been older. So, you're from the singers, you're not from the gatekeepers. Don't mix in. My love, what was Rabbi Yeshua thinking? Why did Rabbi Yeshua think he's allowed to? And Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida says that he can. The Mar Sever b'misahi, v'gazer be'Rabbanan. You see, here's the thing. The question is, if someone does it alone, what punishment is there? Now, if the punishment of someone that closes the gates when he's supposed to be a singer alone, he does the full service alone. If the punishment is the death penalty from heaven, then the rabbis would come along and make a decree that such a severe punishment, if you do it alone, they make a decree that if you do it in assistance with someone else, so you're not allowed to do. There's a decree against assisting another person doing it.
What is the problem if you're Mishur? He's a Levi. Avodato bebet hamikdash. So what's the difference?
Right. What do you say?
Close the doors or he this.
So what do you say?
Why חייב או לשמיטה על דבר זה חלק מהעבודה שלו?
Is it just on the Levium? This is
just the Levium.
They divide it up.
Next time you need eye surgery, we'll send you to an orthopedist. What's the difference? They're both doctors. They're subspecialties, the Gemaras.
Doctor, you don't have to go to eye school to learn how to close the doors.
Maybe the Levium had,
So that's an interesting point. Maybe this is a different Avaida.
Maybe the Levium had to be very disciplined. Maybe they were concerned that they would start going off on it.
And they had to have a certain kavanah.
All right. You hear? You have to have the right kavanah. So if the punishment when you do it alone, is death penalty, then they'll make a decree on doing it in assistance with someone else. But if the doing it alone is just a negative prohibition, then if you do it together with someone else, there's no decree. So Rabbi Yeshua held that, look, you're the one that's doing it. Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida, I'm just helping you, so there's no problem. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida held that no, if you do it alone, there's death penalty from heaven, so therefore you can't even assist. Mar Savar Asarihi v'lei gazer ba. The Gemara says no. The Kuli Alma, really, everyone holds Asarihi, that there is no death penalty. It's just a negative prohibition. Mar Savar Messiah gazer be'Rabbanan, Mar Savar le gazer be'Rabbanan. Some say that it doesn't need to be a death penalty to have a rabbinic decree. The rabbis can make a decree on a negative prohibition. Okay. Boy Rabbi Oven. Let's see what this is. It could be that Ravin is Rabbi Oven. See Ravin over here? Ravin.
Standing alone.
So, Boy Rabbi Oven, Oilas nidvas tzibur to unashira yena to unashira. The singing that's done by the karbanis is done by a communal sacrifice that's mandatory. Like it's at the time of the wine. Which wine? The wine that comes with a communal sacrifice that's mandatory, like the korban tamid or a musaf. It has to be one of those karbanos. When an individual brings a karban, there's no singing by the individual karban. It's only the communal sacrifices, and those karbanos that are special. Let's say the mizbeach is left empty because there's not a lot going on. It's a slow day. So there was something called Ketza Mizbeach, where they would bring offerings just to keep it busy. So they would bring. So let's say those sacrifices. It's called a nidava. It's a donation offering, but it's still a community offering. So do you sing by those offerings? That's Rabban's question. Eily seichem am rachmana. It says a plural. It doesn't say oylaschem. It says Eily seichem. You're oyla, right? You're oylais. Say in the plural s, your or plural vav self, your eilais. It says, which means what are the two? You have to sing by both, whether it's a donation or a mandatory offering. Maybe it means your eilais means the eilais of the Jewish people, and the plural is the Jewish people's eilais, the Jewish people. Not the different types of eilas. So what's the plural over here? Is it the eilas of all the people, or is it the eilas, the two types? And that's the question. Do we sing at these korban eilas that are not brought at those mandatory times? Just donation community. Tashema. So come and listen. It says Vayemer Chizkiyo. This is Chizkiyo is the king, and he's tell me again.
Each mishpacha היה לה את העבודה שלה, נכון?
Okay.
Could be that if you're singing, it's you משפחה מסוימת, ואלה ששומרים על השערים, אלה שנושאים את הכלים, שזה, it's different family. So it could be not to mix up between the family that was guarding the Beit HaMikdash at the time. I don't know how it works, because they had to have people singing, and they had to have people. I think in the family they must have had divided up, because it was divided by family, and then you needed to have both going on at the same time. Couldn't be, well, this week it's the singing week. Come back next week if you want to close the gates, right? They had to have both. I don't understand that. So why is such a severe punishment for something that is?
I don't know. Think about it and let me know. It says like this. Chizkiyo says, "Lahalei sa'ila al mizbeach u'beisei chala ha'ila heichal shir Hashem v'chatzreitzes al yidei klei David melech Yisrael." So they cleaned up the temple, and because there was all types of things in there that weren't pure, and they spent they took it all out. The pasuk says they took it out to the Nachal Kidron, and they immersed it there, and they cleaned it, and they came back, and they're bringing sacrifices, and I believe it said it was on like the 16th of the month of Nisan. They're bringing sacrifices. They missed Pesach. They're bringing sacrifices, and when it comes to bringing the Eila, it says Chizkiyo says to bring the Eila and to start to sing. Gemara says, "Hi Shira Maya Vidite." What is the song over here? What's going on? If it's a regular oila, that's an obligation, like the carbon tamid. So why are they asking? Emluche means, why are they taking counsel? Why are they asking for permission from Chizkiyo to do the singing? Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to do the singing. Ella lav da'ilas nadava. It must have been that they're taking counsel. They're asking for advice because this was a special oila. This was an oila that was not the regular mandatory oila. It was a donation oila. And we have an answer now to the question of Rav Avin. Should you sing by an oila? And this was in the Mason here, I'm sure. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Rabbi.
Yes, sir.
So Chaim points out that Rashi says that he doesn't know the source for this prohibition of the Levium, and but Taisva brings from Rabbeinu Menachem that there is a source. I guess the pasuk is the Mishmar Isam, that they have their each. It must mean that they have
Avoid the lo yavoid. So that avoid the lo yavoid, that's where you get that. So there's a love. There's a mishmeres, you should be doing avoid.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so here we have a pasa. Here we have a source for Rabbavin's, to answer Rabbavin's question, because it must have been that it was, which type of oila was it? It must have been an oila that was a donation, and Chizkiyo said that they should sing. Amar Rabbi Yosef Lai. This says no. It's oilas Rosh Chodesh Haba. It was an oila of Rosh Chodesh. The question was, why do they have to ask? They were asking, is it really Rosh Chodesh? Because you know that the witnesses need to come to determine if it's Rosh Chodesh. Amalei Abaya. Abaya says, that's the question over here, if it's Rosh Chodesh. It says it was on the 16th day of the month. It's not Rosh Chodesh. So Amar Rami Breder Rav Yeva Keves Abba Ma'imer Kamibaylahu. It was the 16th of the month, so now it's the day of the Karban Aimer. Together with the Karban Aimer comes a lamb. And they were asking, we're bringing the Karban Aimer, should we bring the lamb with the Karban Aimer? Is it the correct day? We're going back 15, 16 days. Which day was Rosh Chodesh? Do we do it today? Right? This happens to me when I wake up late. I don't know what day of the week it is. For some reason, when I start the regular days, I know Monday, Tuesday, I feel it. It's like these days, like you wake up late. I don't know. Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Like, you don't know. So they.
By the way, wake up late for you is like 4:15 in the morning.
So here, they wanted to know what day is Rosh Chodesh. Was Rosh Chodesh that day or that day? Because today's the Aimer, or is today the Aimer, or is it tomorrow the Aimer? So that's what they were asking. They were asking Chizkiyo, what day was Rosh Chodesh, going back 16 days? So Maskifla Rav Avya asks, but let's say Pesach Echi, but how could they have that question? Yesterday was Pesach. You can't ask that question today. Matzah Hechi Achal. How did they eat the matzah if they don't know when Rosh Chodesh was? They said the child was learning the Aleph Bais. So when he got to Tzeirei Pei, so they told him Tzeirei Pei is Pei. So he said, why do you need a Tzeirei there? Pei is Pei. You don't need a Tzeirei by the Pei. So the Rebbe says, why didn't you ask that by Hey? So here, it's like yesterday you had to eat the matzah. It's the same sound. Hey, you don't need a Tzeirei by Hey. Automatically it's Hey. So you should have asked this yesterday, what day was Rosh Chodesh. Yesterday you had to eat the matzah. Elamar Ravashi midi dehavi ashlicha de tzibura de mamlech. It's a different sort of asking. It says they asked Chizkiah if they should sing. It doesn't mean they were really asking to sing. It's like the asking that you ask for permission. Can I begin? It wasn't an inquiry. It was a permission question. Once that's what we're up to. Then we don't have to say it was Elish Chodesh. We don't need all of these doichik, these answers. We have to say it's this carbon, that carbon. We just say it's a regular carbon. You ask permission before you begin. When Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was offered the position to be the Rosh Hashiva, and after Rabbi Gamliel was kicked out, so they said, he says, Ezel ve'imlech bebeisei. Let me go ask permission from my wife, right? That's the imlech. So I'm going to ask permission. Tashema, come and listen. We're still looking at that question of the voluntary sacrifices. Do you have singing there? Rabbi Yossi Yamar Megalgalin Zuchos Liyem Zakai. Now, I should mention, Rabbi Yossi, we're going to have him again today, and it's going to be the big complication. But right here, it's pretty simple. Rabbi Yossi is Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta. Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta is the author of a book called Seder Olam. All Jewish history, other than in Tanakh, comes from Seder Olam. He tells us all the dates and what year this happened and everything.
And after him, who put it more? Seder Olam is Mamshich Allah.
No, Seder Olam is Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta. Goes through from Adam Rishon until his time. Yeah, that's
different. Okay. Thank you.
This is from the Tanoim, from Chazal. So Megalgalin Chusli Zakai v'Chayvali Chayev. We roll on the merits to a good day and non-merits. What do they call that? Auspicious day, ominous day. Bad things to the ominous day. They said like this: Bais, when the temple was destroyed. Right here, we're talking about the first temple, but we see it's also referring to the second temple. Barishayna, on the first temple, it was Tisha B'av. It was on a Sunday. And it was the year after Shemitah. It was during that watch of Yehorav. Is Yehorav the Kainim or the Levium? I guess the family of Kainim. And the Kainim and Levium were standing on their positions, on their platform, good. And they were singing. Mashira Amru, what song were they singing? It says, Vayoshav Aleim Asainam Vrasim Yatzmisim. That he returned to them the violence, and in their evil they were destroyed. He destroyed them. With their evil, he destroyed them. They couldn't finish the verse. They didn't finish the verse. Before they finished the verse, until the enemy came and conquered them. The same thing happened in the second temple.
It's good that they didn't finish the verse, because the last words that we get chorus. So Hashem's still leaving room for continuation.
Interesting.
Rabbi, you need to bring Dr. Stein next to you.
It's the coffee. The coffee's
it's like the video, right?
The Gemara asks, Hi Shira Maya Vidita. Yeah, we need the two videos. Hi Shira Maya Vidite. What song were they singing? What song? If you say it was the Karban Tamid, it was the obligatory offering, the Gemara says 1 second. Mi have. I probably have to add in a word or something here. What does it say? What's the test? Mi biyud zayin b'tamuz batal atamid. We didn't have the Karban Tamid. The Gemara discusses that at least in the second Bais Hamikdash, the Gemara discusses that there were two brothers. They were fighting over the Aristobulus and Yochanan and Hyrcanus and Aristobulus. and one brother was inside the Stuger Sois, one brother was inside, one brother was outside, and they would have to put money over the wall to get the animal for the Karban Tamid, and then someone told them that you're never going to conquer them if they keep bringing the sacrifice, and they put a pig in instead of the. It was an earthquake, 400 parsois. So, but that happened on Yud Zayin Tammuz, Botla Tamid. The Tamid stopped on it. When was it destroyed? 3 weeks later, on Tisha B'av. So why are we saying? Was it 3 weeks and 3 years? I think it was 3. It was 3 years later and 3 weeks. But so how can we say that when the temple was destroyed, they were singing the song? What song were they singing? It was because of the Tamid. They didn't have the Tamid. The Tamid stopped already before. They didn't have the animals. Elalav Delas Nadava. It must have been a donation offering, because the Tamid had stopped. Gemara says V'tizbra. Do you really think so? They didn't have the main sacrifice, and they had donations, right? They didn't have enough animals. Halei kasha. It's not a problem. Ben Bakar Akray Ba'almahu Disramilo. The Karban Tamid is supposed to be a sheep or a goat, and here they brought it's a kevasecha tasababek, a sheep. It's supposed to be a lamb, and here they had a cattle. They had a cow. They brought the cow or something like that. So we couldn't have brought the Karban Tamid, but we could bring a different donation, because an Eily is allowed to be other animals. Amar Rava. So Rava says, "V'temer Ravashi, B'tizbra, do you really think that you've resolved everything? Shira Yomi, if it's on a Sunday, so we're saying the wrong song. It's not Kel Nakamis Hashem. It's not that psalm of Wednesday. Lashem Aretz Malaya. It's the song of Lashem Aretz Malaya. That's you're supposed to say that. What is that? 25, Psalm 25. Vayoshav Aleim Esoinam B'Shir Darba B'Shabbasu. That's in Kel Nakamis Hashem. That's 94. That's a Wednesday song. Why we're saying that they were singing this song when the temple was destroyed? It's the wrong day. Ella al Ilia bialmahu dinafale b'pamayot. It was just a lament. It was just a kinnis that they were saying. It wasn't an actual song. So it doesn't have to do with the karban. They were just singing that. So 1 second. It says that they were standing on the platform. They were standing on the platform meant that they was together with the karban. It says Kid Reish Lakish. The Amar that Reish Lakish said, Omer shalay ala karban. What is that good? That they could say Shira even if it wasn't a karban. They would sing other times as well. 1 second. That was exactly Rabbi Avin's question. Do you say Shira? Do you sing on a sacrifice that's a voluntary sacrifice? The Gemara says, so here we see, if you're allowed to sing when it's not a sacrifice, for sure you can sing when it's a sacrifice if it's voluntary. The Gemara says, no. By that sacrifice, nafik minei churba, that's going to be a problem. It's going to create a problem. Why? Because if by a voluntary sacrifice you do the singing, but you comment while you're doing the singing that you don't really need to do it, and sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't, then people may think that by other sacrifices, by mandatory sacrifices, it's also voluntary. So by sacrifices that aren't mandatory, you don't want to do any singing, because that's going to confuse you which one's mandatory, which one's voluntary. But the rest of the day, that you're allowed to sing. It's sort of like bowing during Shemon Esrei. You're allowed to bow during Shemon Esrei, but you're not allowed to bow by the other brachas that you don't. You only bow certain Baruch Atah Hashem. You bow. You want to bow Atachein Ladam Das. You want to bow, that you're allowed to do. But you can't bow by Baruch Atah Hashem Chein Adas. That wasn't instituted. By those you stay straight. In other words, over there, that's going to be the confusing part. So any time during the day they wanted to say Shira, they could do. But they can't say Shira on a karban that they weren't supposed to, that wasn't the mandatory one. My Havi Allah. What's the answer to this? Tashma. Tani Rav Mari Breder Rav Kana. Rav Mari, the son of Rav Kana, taught. Allah Seichem al Zivchei Shalmechem. On your burnt offerings and on your peace offerings. Ma Oila Kodesh Kadashim. Afslam Kodesh Kadashim.
Just like the Eily is Kodesh Kadashim, also the Shlamim is Kodesh Kadashim. No, it's not true. The Shlamim is not Kodesh Kadashim. So what we're referring to here is a special type of Shlamim. A Shlamim that is Kodesh Kadashim. Which one is that? A Shlamim that's a Zivchei Shalmei Tzibur, which is the Shlamim that's brought on Shavuos. So a mandatory sacrifice, a Shlamim, you say on those Shlamim you say, and on the Eilis you say, Mashlam Kvolem Zman, Afeila Kvolem Zman. Just like those Shlamim, that's a Kachik Kadashim, is only on Shavuos, it's a special time that you do it. Also for Eilis, only those special Eilis that have a set time, which means the mandatory ones, not the Ketzah Mizbeach. Okay, so we've asked one question today. Do you say Shira, do you sing song on the donation sacrifices? And we answered no. Now we have another question. Ibaylo. Nesachem abam b'fnei atzmim. Tunin shira, ayin tunin shira. See, a karban, the animal sacrifices are supposed to come, this week's parsha actually, supposed to come, maybe yesterday's chumash, supposed to come together with flour, wine, and oil. Right? To get flour, wine. When they come into the land of Israel, they have to add these things on. They didn't have to bring the flour, wine, and oil at exactly the day that the sacrifice was brought. If they brought it 10 days later, the flour, wine, and oil for that sacrifice was also good, which was interesting. But it didn't have to come at that time.